Thanks for your interest in the Strategic Resilience Center. In this presentation, we introduce the concept of strategic resilience and provide an example. Strategic resilience is the ability of an organization to achieve its objectives despite adversity. The Strategic Resilience Center is focused on increasing the resilience of organizations. First, we will discuss the concept of strategic resilience. On this slide, we outline the components and the building blocks of strategic resilience. Organizations are a collection of people, processes, and technology that are aligned and focused on a common goal. The strategy of an organization defines its intent, approach, and plan to achieve its goal. There are many ways for an organization to develop and select their strategy. The operational capability of an organization includes all resources that execute the strategy and deliver results. This includes all people, assets, buildings, technologies, processes, financial resources, skills, and experience of the organization. We refer to this operational and execution capability as the organization's machine. An organization develops, aligns, and adapts its strategy with its operational capabilities to drive results and achieve its goal. Organizations do not operate in a vacuum. Their strategy and operational capabilities may be challenged or disrupted. For example, strategic risks may include large macro issues such as population growth or decline, macroeconomic challenges if there is a recession or if interest rates significantly rise or fall. Macro risk may also include governmental actions and regulations that change market conditions. Antitrust laws are designed to increase competition, while governmental licensing requirements manage competition. Taxes and tariffs can also impact incentives for organizations on a local or global scale. An organization may also be disrupted by risks that are specific to their industry sector. For example, if the industry is growing or shrinking, or undergoing radical transformation, or perhaps being challenged by a new business model that affects all organizations in that specific industry. Other strategic risks are organizational or financial. For example, if the organization simply doesn't have the financial resources to achieve its desired goals, or is unable to find skilled employees to do the work needed. Strategy is also very sensitive to timing. If an organization tries to launch a new product before customers are ready for it, or if the product is launched too late, even a good strategy can be disrupted simply based on bad timing. The next type of risks that cause disruption are operational risks. This is where business continuity, disaster recovery, and operational risk teams have traditionally focused. These risks include natural disasters such as fires, floods, and hurricanes. But other operational risks include disruptions that arise from system failures, network outages, or power blackouts. Cyber attacks and data breaches are a growing problem. An outage that affects a vendor or critical supplier can also cause a significant operational disruption. Even if an organization has done a good job managing its strategic and operational risks, it may still be disrupted by a competitor who is able to outperform and reach the same goal, but better or faster than your organization. When we think about strategic resilience as a profession, as a new area of focus for organizations, we see here how it fits into the ongoing evolution of risk management. On the left-hand side, before Y2K, most large organizations were focused on recovering big mainframe computers and technology in their data centers. This involved developing plans and procedures that allowed them to send backup tapes, people, and equipment to an alternate hot site or cold site so that their mainframe systems could be recovered. After September 11th, many large organizations began to expand their focus to maintain business continuity and operational capability for the rest of the business, well beyond IT systems. This included developing plans to relocate personnel and business functions if a building is damaged, or ensure ongoing operation for call centers, product warehouses, logistics functions, and other critical operational teams. Enterprise risk management activities have continued to evolve. There is growing investment to manage cyber threats and an increased focus on third-party and vendor risk management. Many insurance programs and risk management activities vary by industry, some with requirements based on industry standards, government regulations, or by demanding customers. As markets evolve, strategic resilience programs provide an opportunity to expand beyond traditional risk management and help organizations better manage strategic risks. The companies and logos on this slide are examples of organizations that were once successful, but are now bankrupt or a shadow of what they once were. These organizations were disrupted because of strategic risks. A traditional operations-focused resilience or business continuity program could not have saved these companies. For someone who is an executive or a member of the strategy team or a resilience professional, this presents a problem. For example, if you were the vice president of operational resilience for Sears or the director of business continuity at Blockbuster Video, it's likely that you would have been focused on operational risks. You would have failed in your job to maintain the ongoing operation of these companies. This speaks to the bigger issue and opportunity for strategy teams and resilience professionals to engage and help their organizations build strategic resilience. Strategic resilience is designed for successful organizations that are strong and seeking to become stronger. Unfortunately, if an organization is currently struggling, a strategic resilience program may help, but it may be too late. The Strategic Resilience Program is designed to help leaders focus on strategic goals and align resources while there is time to build resilience into their organization. Here we present an example of companies that face both strategic and operational risks. Blockbuster Video is shown across the top, and they faced strategic risks for many years. They eventually went bankrupt in 2010. Across the bottom is Verizon. This summarizes Verizon's preparation and response to an operational risk, in this case, a hurricane. This timeline starts on the left and progresses to the right, depicting the timing for when each organization becomes aware of and responds to both the strategic and operational risks. On this slide, there is a question mark at the top. The question is, when did the leaders of Blockbuster Video know they had a problem? Was it 1 month prior to the bankruptcy in 2010, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, even 5 years? There are two reasons for this question. First, what people and resources would those leaders want in that war room once they realize they have a problem? Have they identified these people in advance? Who needs to be in the room to help make good decisions and drive action? However, the second and bigger reason for asking the question is to identify what can be done far in advance, to activate a team at the first signs of a problem or when the risk is still far out on the horizon. The goal is to have the right people trained, ready to get pulled together, to collaborate with the best information and understanding of the situation. Let's compare this to the way Verizon responded to the hurricane as an operational risk. On the right side of the slide, we see a hurricane is threatening. Approximately 5 days prior to the hurricane making landfall, Verizon activates its crisis management team. That team coordinated preparation, information sharing, and response priorities. The executive leaders and their team might meet once a day, twice or 3 times a day, as needed during the storm. This provided a cadence for the response activities. That crisis management war room became the focal point for the news, status reports, and latest information from the right people who were closest to the situation on the ground. This expedited priorities and feedback loops all the way to the top leaders of the company. These were very efficient meetings, and the meetings didn't happen by accident. Prior to the activation, there was a lot of work done to build and train those teams, and to focus preparations on the things that were mission critical to Verizon's operation. Those preparation activities helped the company invest wisely prior to the hurricane and helped them respond faster when the hurricane hit, when there was an operational risk to be managed. This presents a very different and much better picture to see how an organization responds to risks than what we saw above with the Blockbuster Video example. And this illustrates the opportunity for an organization to prepare for and manage strategic risks in a similar way that an organization like Verizon managed its operational risks. There are a few strategic resilience program activities that Blockbuster Video might have undertaken which may have helped them succeed. For example, now with hindsight, they might have acquired Netflix in the year 2000 and completely changed their strategic trajectory. This is not meant to second-guess these strategic decisions. Instead, it is to ask, when did Blockbuster Video go through the following steps? When did they assemble a strategic response team to focus on the strategic risks that were facing their industry and their company? With all the major changes to technology and business model, there was an opportunity to increase situational awareness and do something significantly different than the way business had been done prior. There are opportunities for organizations to conduct a strategic impact analysis to understand what initiatives are mission critical for their organization to succeed, and to develop continuity plans for those strategic initiatives, and to ensure that companies are poised, ready to adapt, and deploy resources in response to ever-changing strategic threats. This is just the way Verizon was poised, equipped, and ready to respond to an operational risk like a hurricane. To wrap up this presentation, let's talk about next steps. We encourage leaders and professionals to learn more. Strategic resilience is a new concept. There's a lot to learn as we go forward. Strategy professionals, risk managers, and business continuity professionals can all contribute to help define and refine what strategic resilience means to their organizations. A great step for organizations is to conduct a tabletop crisis exercise. We recommend developing a crisis scenario based on a known strategic threat to the organization. This will be more interesting to a leadership team than a mundane scenario with an operational threat like a hurricane or system outage. The exercise will help align leadership on the strategic threats to an organization, and this is a critical step to improve resilience. You can also learn more and stay current on the evolving topic of strategic resilience by signing up for our Resilience and Disruption newsletter, which is published monthly. If you and your team are motivated and see opportunity in strategic resilience, sign up for online training and attend our workshops. We have developed a certification program for leaders in the field. Our website is located at strategicresilienccenter.com. Thank you for your interest in strategic resilience. If you have questions or for more information, contact the editor at strategicresilienccenter.com.